In particular, it might be useful, say, for new faculty to talk about, with new faculty, issues regarding students who are parents, who have adult learners who may have, offspring and childcare issues, and how to sort of work with those and different options so that maybe faculty are better prepared.
Use like maybe more online classes or something like that, to where we could send, or like online classes at all. Period. I think
some sort of program, at least for emotional support.
Another thing I've actually started is contacting these students and having a parenting pregnant support group, because it definitely happens. And I feel like if SLU students see that there are pregnant students on campus, or we can get more pregnant students to stay around, or parenting students, I think it would become more acceptable. So by having this support group, I think, that would be a resource, talking with other people, if they hear somebody that's pregnant, they're like, oh, there's this group you can go and talk to other students that have went through the same thing as you, and maybe they have questions, or we could, point them to, where they can get support or things they need. So that's something I'm currently working on.
A child brought to term changes the lives of those involved in a profound way, and regardless of the stress induced and the doubts raised, one only has to look upon the mother, gazing into her child's eyes, to see a love unwavering, never questioned. Single mothers at St. Luke's University have felt pressure to hide their pregnancy or to forego their higher education goals. These intelligent mothers, at the time of their pregnancy, felt they did not know where to go, or that the staff was inadequate to handle their situation, not knowing what to do themselves.
when I found out I was pregnant, I was very, very, very scared that I wouldn't be able to come back.
I definitely think there is a double standard. And you can, like I said, you can see that based on where you walk. You walk among the general public and they don't think anything of it. You walk down, Grand or whatever, and people stare at you like you're crazy.
But I feel that my parents even thought, SLU kicks you out if you're pregnant. They're like, you can't stay there. So that's why they didn't encourage me to stay.
In my discussion with administrators or those in campus ministry, many great support structures such as health, housing, and academic accommodation are available to students that need them. The problem comes when students don't feel they can get this assistance, don't know who to ask or what to ask for. The university has to take a more open initiative, not in condoning behavior, but taking serious the responsibility to the welfare and education of their students. Furthermore, we must begin a discussion about pregnancy and childbearing in the context of education by individuals and academia as a whole. So, what do you hope that this interview will accomplish? What do you hope for SLU to help?
I hope that SLU comes up with more accommodations for parents and child-wise, cheap child care, something like that.
I just really want people to be aware that it happens here, and that, I think a lot of people think that we're crazy for still being here. They think, that, we should have quit school or whatever, and they just can't believe that we're doing it. And, I want people to be aware that there are moms on campus, and probably dads too, and that, any support anybody can give us is helpful. I would love to see some things change at SLU to help out people who have kids.
Experiences by this interview, that I would show people that, it is acceptable, and hopefully to change the campus view on it. I think that's a big mission, and a big thing for me is by sharing my experiences and my story is by reflecting back on it and using the Jesuit mission that the administrators would see, that it does happen on our campus. And not only does it happen, but it happens to our campus leaders, and it happens to people that are in the limelight and that are so involved. And maybe by showing them this videotape, that they would see that, these are the ways we can help these students, whether it's daycare, whether it's just showing that they support, or, whether it's, anything. I think it would be a good start and stepping stone.
If you asked any of these students, in light of everything, if they would take it back or wish it never have happened, they would say no. On the contrary, it was the greatest moment of my life.
I just feel that the Jesuit mission is, supporting one another and basically to have students' best in mind. And I feel like, by implementing, whether it's a daycare or, just supporting the students in any possible way, that it would really make an impact.
I told Jared, Kate's not pregnant. He said, yes, she is. I told him again, no, she's not. Yes, she is, Bailey. He did not believe me. I had to tell him about it a dozen times before it sunk in. But apparently you did a really good job of lying.
When you first kind of found out about the project, what did you think about it?
When I first found out that it was a youth project,
Yeah.
I thought that it was definitely something that needed to be addressed, and I would love if somebody had the nerve to do it.
Okay, so is there anything else you'd like to say about this topic? Any thought?
That it was really fun rubbing your belly and I'm gonna miss it. And I'll just rub your belly. Hi! Hi Kate, what's up?
Alright, any last comments, questions, insights about this topic?
I think it was a great experiment, and it definitely made my night to find out that it was an experiment. And I hope that you learn a lot from this, and I've definitely learned from just asking you that simple question.
Campus.
Fake?
Yes, it is.
Prove it!
So that's really my first thought. Like, here was a perfect example of why somebody might need a cell phone.
See, that was a relatively painless procedure. What was your first reaction?
I was just confused, especially the idea that you went from me not being able to tell you were pregnant at all, and then it was like, wow, she looks like she's about to pop.
Well, we're just exploring the idea that it's not very common here on campus to see a lot of visibly pregnant women, and exploring,
Because we're Catholics and we send them to nunneries.
That's why it had to be the first 2 weeks of school.
Okay.
Because that way I haven't been here all summer and people might just double take me, like, maybe I just never noticed. Maybe you should just, blah, blah, blah.
McCain didn't know that 17-year-old was 5 months pregnant.
Right, exactly. This project came at a perfect time, so.